Hello everybody. Today I just have a quick video for you because I am overdue for my mid-year check-in on my goals. We are over halfway into 2021 now and I haven't checked in on my goals. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. I just like to do this every year, look at where I'm at halfway through the year and just kind of check in with my goals and remind myself of what some of them are and make sure that I'm on track with them. I know that this is a little bit late, but I have compiled all of my reading stats up until the end of June, which is the exact halfway point through the year. So all of my information for this is only based on the first 6 months of 2021. I'm not counting anything from July. Let's just dive right in. My first goal of the year is my reading goal for every year that I feel comfortable with, and it is read 100 books. And as of halfway through the year, I have read 62 books, which is perfectly on track for this goal. I am ahead of schedule. I do not foresee any issues accomplishing this goal. Of course, I would always like to be further along than I am, but obviously we're going to call this a win. I'm on track for this goal. Looking at the rest of my reading goals is not looking good. Let's start with one that we're actually doing well on. And this is actually like my biggest goal. So I think it's important to note that this was my main focus of the year and I am doing well on this goal, which is good. So this goal is to have the majority of all of the books I've read by the end of the year to be written by people of color. So I do have a page in my notebook where I've been keeping track of this. So as of the end of June, we have 32 books written by authors of color, which is more than 50%. So that would be 32 versus a 30 split. So that is on track. I do want to note that I wasn't completely sure how I wanted to break this down. So I do have 6 books that I put in a neutral category. I read a book that was written by an author who is essentially anonymous. They use a pen name. They don't disclose any information about their actual identity. So I have absolutely no idea whether they are a person of color or not. So I didn't feel comfortable marking them as like a white author without knowing anything about them. And then I've also read 5 Nancy Drew books so far this year. Nancy Drew books are written by Carolyn Keene, which is a pseudonym of a person that does not exist. The series has always been written by ghostwriters, and especially with the new ones, which is the ones I'm reading, I have absolutely no idea like who actually wrote them. It could be any ghostwriter, and so I again just like don't really want to put that in any sort of category. I know nothing about the actual author, but either way, I still have accomplished this goal because I have 32 books written by authors of color, and then 24 books by white authors, and then 6 neutral books. In whatever configuration you put it in, I still have the majority of the books that I've read, at least so far for the first half of the year, written by people of color, which is really great. And I am very happy that that is going well. It's definitely something that I obviously am thinking about. It has not been super challenging or anything. I feel like I have very easily been able to read everything that I'm interested in reading, and yeah, it's just been going really well. I really don't want this to be a goal that I fail by the end of the year, so I think we should be okay with this one. So far, so good. But getting into all of the other kind of like extra bonus reading goals that I set for 2021, they're not really doing very well, but let's look at them. I had a goal on this list that says read at least 5 books that are 500 plus pages, and I don't believe that I've read a single book that is over 500 pages. Let me take a look and see what's the longest book I've read so far this year. I think it's going to be 472. That is the lengthiest book I've read so far this year. So that does not even cut it. That's something that if I want to complete that goal, I'm going to have to try harder. We also have a goal where I wanted to read books set in all of the states that I've been missing for the past couple years. So we've got Delaware, Hawaii, Iowa, South Dakota, New Hampshire, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and North Dakota. And I have read a book set in New Hampshire. And that's it out of that list. 1 out of the 8 marked off is not good. I should have finished 4 by now, and that hasn't happened. That's one that I've had it in the back of my mind a little bit, but I just like haven't really made a concentrated effort to do it. It's not a goal that's like really important to me, but like I just thought it would be fun, and I'm just like not trying with it. I also have a goal to finish all started series within the year. So any book series that I start, I want to finish it by the end of the year within reason. This goal is going, like medium. Surprisingly, I just like in general, I haven't been reading as many series as I did last year. This goal hasn't been like as much of a pressing issue as it was for me last year, because I read a lot of series last year and I really struggled to finish all of them like by the end of the year. But this year I haven't really been picking up as many series. There have been a few that I've started and finished. There have been a few that I have started and I haven't finished. And there's been a couple where I read the first book and I'm not totally sure if I want to continue with the series or not. So if I ultimately decide that I don't even want to read the other books, obviously I'm not going to count that against me. I'm not going to force myself to read an entire series just because of this goal. If I do end up wanting to finish those series, I do kind of need to get a crack on them because I am definitely gonna be behind. I'm not like incredibly worried about this goal right now, but I do feel like it's maybe not going as well as I expected it to. For now, I'm gonna say it's probably okay, but we'll see how I feel later in the year. I also have the goal of bringing back the Week of Graphic Novels, which is a kind of just a self-imposed readathon that I've done a few times in the past, and I have not done this yet, but I do plan to still do this. I'm thinking that I maybe want to do this in the fall. I feel like an autumnal reading vlog will be fun. I definitely have been thinking about this and I do still plan to do it, but I haven't done it yet. Maybe September or October. That is when you should be looking for the Week of Graphic Novels. And if it hits November and I still haven't done it, maybe question me about that. And then finally, that gets me into my booktube goals, because I kind of lump some reading goals and booktube goals together on the channel. And I'm pretty happy with how my booktube goals are going so far. It has been imperfect, but not bad. We have 2 main goals of mine, and both of them had a slip up, but I think for the most part they're going pretty well. So my booktube goals were, number 1, to post at least 1 booktube video per month. I messed up on this once. I didn't post a video in April, but I'm really kicking myself because I posted 2 videos in March, and one of them was posted on the 31st of March. So if I had just delayed that video 1 or 2 days, I could have completed this goal. I just really messed up and I wasn't thinking, because I posted a video like in the middle of March and then I posted another one right at the end, and then it just didn't happen for April. But every other month I have gotten at least 1 video, sometimes 2 up. If I had just posted that video 1 day later, this goal would have been completed. It's one of those things where no, I didn't do it, but I feel like I've done pretty well, and it was so close. Like I feel pretty good about this goal so far. And then the other booktube goal of mine was to have all of my videos captioned by the time they are uploaded. This one, again, had 1 slip up, but it truly was an accident. What I tend to do is I will finish a video and then I will upload it to YouTube, and I'll schedule it for maybe a week later and just make sure that I get the captions done within that week. What I did was I had 2 videos that I kind of finished at the same time, and I scheduled one for the next week, and then the other one I scheduled for a month later. And I totally forgot I had done that, and so I never did the captions for the second video. And then a month later, the video was just posted, and I went onto YouTube and I had a notification that people had commented on it, and I was like, what is this video? I had completely forgotten I even made it. So there was 1 video that I accidentally uploaded because I had scheduled it and forgotten about it. That video was uploaded without captions because of that. But as soon as I realized that I had done that, I really quickly got on the captions. I had them up within a day or 2. So I think that the spirit of this goal has definitely been consistently completed. I did just have that one mess up. I've been pretty diligent about making sure that the captions are completed before I upload the video, and I think that's a really good practice. If you upload the video and you're like, I'll do the captions later, they just like don't happen. They really don't, at least for me. So I'm very much in favor of this work ethic and this process for YouTube. It works for me. Would recommend doing this for anyone who also has a YouTube channel because captions are very important. So I would say that this goal is doing pretty well. And that's it. Those are all of my reading goals and kind of how I'm doing on them for 2021. For the first 6 months of the year, I really tend to stay consistent with where I'm at on my goals with my mid-year check-in. So it's like by the end of the year, however I'm doing just stays exactly the same. So that worries me a little bit, especially with the goal of reading 5 books with 500 or more pages. If I really finish out the year and I still haven't read a single one, I'm going to be embarrassed. But for the most part, we're not doing that bad. We're doing okay. I'm reading, I'm getting some stuff done. It's not a total train wreck. That's pretty much it. This is probably just gonna be a short little video, just, checking in. It's also just nice to say hello to everyone. I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. I will be wrapping up more books soon. Once again, most of the books I've been reading for the year, just haven't talked about them. But we will be getting on that. I promise. Bye.